This is News Channel 13, WNYT, Albany. And now, live for the Capital Region, Randy Salerno, Rodger Wyland with sports, and meteorologist Arnie Rosen. This is News Channel 13, live at 11.
Good evening. Slick and icy roads are being blamed for auto accidents across our region, including one fatality in Saratoga County. It has warmed up considerably now, but this morning a sheet of ice covered many roads, making at least one exit ramp look like a demolition derby. Diane Eastabrook has details.
Mother Nature claimed one life in the Saratoga County town of Ballston just minutes after freezing rain began falling this morning. On icy Route 50, a southbound tractor trailer driven by 29-year-old Kimberly Corlew of Greenfield jackknifed in front of two northbound cars.
First vehicle unable to stop, slid underneath the tractor trailer. Second vehicle unable to stop, slid also, as you see, underneath the tractor trailer.
The driver of the first car, a Schenectady man, was dead at the scene. Corlew and 50-year-old Ronald Wyke of Ballston, the driver of the second car, were both treated for injuries at Ellis Hospital. Meanwhile, state police closed Interstate 88 from Schoharie County to the thruway for nearly an hour and a half this morning because of treacherous conditions.
Just come out of the toll booth and I spun a little bit coming out of there, but that was it.
The state police say there were numerous accidents on I-88 and minor injuries. Salt trucks rolled along the thruway de-icing the roads, but salt apparently didn't make it fast enough to the Arbor Hill exit in Albany. Here, 6 cars collided, tying up traffic.
It was really icy, and I slid and I stopped and I got out of the car to see if I hit his car or her car, and I didn't. When I got out of the car, this lady came up, hit me, and that car followed behind her.
Sean Farrell was among the lucky ones. How close did you come to hitting this?
About 3 feet. The car next to me came within an inch.
But despite all of the chaos, only one driver was injured. Diane Eastabrook, News Channel 13.
Saratoga County Sheriff's deputies tell us the man killed today was 61-year-old Donald German of Schenectady. A Columbia County man is in critical condition tonight after being shot by another hunter. Sheriff's deputies say 50-year-old Albert Weingarter of Red Hook was hunting near the town of Gallatin when he was shot in the stomach. Apparently a hunter in the same area shot at but missed a deer. One of the stray bullets hit Weingarter. Well, the weather we've been experiencing is a stark reminder of how difficult it must be for the homeless living on the streets, constantly exposed to the elements. And that's the message 2 shelters in Rensselaer County want to get out. Supporters of the shelters joined staff and clients today in the annual Joseph House fundraising walk through downtown Troy. About 100 people took part in the event. The nonprofit agency hopes to raise $15,000 this weekend through the walk, as well as other activities. 50 years ago tonight, the United States was reeling from an event no one would ever forget, the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Americans across the country marked the anniversary of the attack that plunged the U.S. into World War II today. President Bush joined thousands of fellow veterans gathering at Pearl Harbor for the occasion.
Look at the water here, clear and quiet, bidding us to sum up and remember. One day, in what now seems another lifetime, it wrapped its arms around the finest sons any nation could ever have, and it carried them to a better world. May God bless them, and may God bless America, the most wondrous land on earth.
Locally, veterans organizations sponsored a number of observances today to mark Pearl Harbor 50 years later. Bill Lambdin reports on the more than 30 survivors who gathered at the Watervliet Arsenal.
A typical day at Pearl Harbor in 1991. These pictures shot by an Albany tourist 4 months ago. The wait to visit the Arizona Memorial, 2 hours. Surviving volunteers tell their stories to those who weren't there that deadly morning 50 years ago, 1941, when Japanese planes delivered their surprise attack.
It was like a widescreen movie, watching all this go on. And of course, we didn't know the names of any of the ships out there. My buddy and I saw the Oklahoma roll over, and we saw the Arizona at the moment it exploded.
Retired Sergeant Jim Hyland survived the Pearl Harbor attack.
This is about remembering, but unfortunately my buddy and I were present when 1,100 some odd sailors and Marines almost instantaneously ended their life.
Hyland, one of the speakers during 50th anniversary ceremonies today at the Watervliet Arsenal. Senator Al D'Amato and Congressman Mike McNulty here to distribute commemorative medals to area people who lived through that inferno at Pearl. More than 30 men.
William George Halsdorf, U.S. Marine Corps, Headquarter Company, 3rd Defense Battalion.
As you look at the faces, you see that 50 years has not erased the pain. The attack jolted a sleeping nation. It brought America into World War II and profoundly changed history. These people were there. Out of the tragedy came an incredible war effort, a new world order, compassion for the nations that we battled, and these survivors hope, a lesson America will remember long after these Pearl Harbor veterans can no longer give their testimony.
Never again. Never again.
Bill Lambdin, News Channel 13.
Well, let's take a look and see if our weekend weather is going to improve at all.
Randy, temperatures right now are well above freezing, and they'll stay that way, it looks like, for the next couple of days, so no travel problems expected right in through Monday. Outside right now, readings in the upper 30s. That's where they'll be early tomorrow morning. Sun up at 7:12. 422 sun down. We're not going to get to see much sunshine, but at least temperatures should get into the mid-40s. A slight chance of a shower, but most of the day tomorrow should be dry and rain-free. We'll tell you more about the mild weather in just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Arnie. Still ahead on News Channel 13, live at 11. It's a working weekend for the judge and lawyers in the William Kennedy Smith rape trial, and the pilot of a news helicopter may have given his life to save another. Those stories and more when we return. Ex-hostage Alan Steen is spending the night at a Detroit hospital after being rushed there earlier this evening. Steen and his wife arrived at Detroit's Metropolitan Airport on the last leg of their journey home. While en route from the airport to their Clark Lake home, Steen suffered a seizure. The 52-year-old former hostage was held captive for nearly 5 years and suffered minor brain damage as a result of severe beatings. Doctors in Wiesbaden, Germany said Steen would suffer seizures the rest of his life. There's no word on his condition. 3 members of a television news crew crashed to their death in a helicopter accident early this morning. Police in North Carolina are investigating the crash. The accident occurred near the town of Fogway Farina. The helicopter, operated by WTVD in Durham, was returning from a high school football game. The pilot, a cameraman, and a technician died in the crash. The station's sports director, the lone survivor, says he believes the pilot deliberately sacrificed his life in order to prevent further loss of life. A Florida jury is getting some shut-eye tonight in preparation for an unusual Sunday session. Today, the prosecution in the William Kennedy Smith rape trial rested its case, and the defense began calling witnesses. NBC's Mike Macklin has the latest.
And any other evidence?
Your Honor, the state would rest at this time.
The state rested its case against William Kennedy Smith after Judge Mary Lupo refused to let the prosecutors call a rape expert to testify. Lupo issued the denials, saying the rape expert's appearance might prevent the trial from ending before Christmas.
The addition of a witness testifying to facts such as this would have a devastating effect on the schedule of this trial.
Before resting its case, the prosecution called the woman's orthopedic surgeon, who examined her 1 week after she alleges she was raped.
She had complaints of pain behind both shoulders. She had complaints of pain in the rib cage bilaterally. She had complaints of pain in the pelvis bilaterally.
But Dr. Barry Lotman also testified that Smith's accuser's orthopedic problems that he was treating her for even before the alleged rape would not have prevented her from resisting an attacker.
Could she punch?
Yes.
Could she use her knee in someone's groin?
Yes.
Could she scream?
Yes.
And jurors heard from an expert witness for the defense on the significance of the alleged victim's dress, which contained no grass stains, despite her claims that she was raped during a violent struggle on the lawn of the Kennedy estate.
If those grass stain was in fact on the dress, if those grass stain was not removed prior to my examination, I should be able to find those.
Now that the prosecution has rested its case, the question is whether William Kennedy Smith will testify in his own defense. Most legal experts watching the trial expect Smith will take the stand to tell his version of the events of that fateful Easter weekend at the Kennedy estate. In West Palm Beach, Mike Macklin for NBC News.
How about a little change in our weather? Arnie says the roller coaster forecast continues. A warm front is moving in for our Sunday and Monday. Details are next, but first, here's a look at tonight's winning lottery numbers. A little bit more warmer tomorrow and then even warmer on Monday, you think?
Yeah, I think we could be topping 50 on Monday. That
Clear
would
the snow right out of here.
Yeah, we're going to try and do that, but Tuesday we may have some problems. I'll speak about that in a second. First, our best shot of the day, a photo taken from Route 30 north of the bridge at Northville over in Fulton County, and that's showing us Stony Creek, taken by Janet O'Mara of Mayfield. Here are the numbers on today. Temperatures just about where they are now, the highest of the day, 39, 15 the low, and the record 63 and 7. With the cloudy skies, 39-degree temperature. We have a humidity at 73%, barometer right now going up, and the winds are south at 6 miles per hour. Had a 9/10 of an inch of rainfall, a lot of that falling as sleet and a little bit of snow and a lot of freezing rain being reported. We had those real nasty conditions earlier today throughout much of the Capital District. Let's check out what's going on right now. Things have settled down quite a bit over the last 6 to 8 hours. Have a little bit of freezing drizzle up to the north over in Messina, but for the most part, just a lot of clouds around. A warm front is now biased. Good sign there. Temperatures are beginning to warm. They've actually gone up since 6 o'clock this evening, and we have 40s all the way out to the west of us. The warmth moving in our direction, and we should be in the mid to at least the upper 40s during the day tomorrow. Looks like a pretty good day overall. But we do have a series of frontal systems along the northern tier of states, and that's tied into all the cloudiness we're looking at, and those clouds are going to be hard to shake. Not only tomorrow, but I think even Monday as well. We may get to see a little bit of sunshine here tomorrow afternoon, but don't count on a lot of it. A good deal of gray skies around and pretty much temperatures for the most part in the middle 40s, which this time of the year is slightly above normal. So overall, tomorrow not looking like too bad a day. There may be a brief shower around with one of those fronts nearby us, but again, most of the day tomorrow will be dry, and I think the shower threat tomorrow will hold off until nightfall for the most part. As we go on into Monday, again, a warm front and a cold front sliding nearby us. We could have a couple of showers in the forecast, but Monday, I think, will be in this warm pocket of air. Temperatures could get over that 50-degree mark, so overall, when it's not raining, it's going to feel pretty nice outside here the early part of next week. But we do have some problems coming in. After this cold front goes on by, some cooler air works in, and that will be tied into a developing storm that will be working up in our direction as we go on into Tuesday. Right now, it's looking like a close call on Tuesday. Well to the north across the Adirondacks, northern Vermont, definitely all snow there. But from the Capital District on northward, we could be looking at a mixture of snow, sleet, freezing rain. Yeah, the same mess we had about a week ago. Hopefully it will be more in the form of rain than frozen precipitation, but we'll have to wait until new data comes in during the day tomorrow. That's how it shapes up at the moment. Let's check out the forecast for tonight. Cloudy skies, lows 35 to 40 tomorrow. Mostly cloudy, a milder day. Most of the shower threat will hold off until either late in the day or at night. Highs tomorrow in the mid-40s. Tomorrow night, scattered light showers around 40 to 45. As we go on in toward Monday, cloudy and mild, another brief shower possible, but highs could get into the lower 50s. 5-day outlook, rain and or snow or sleet or freezing rain on Tuesday. Could be a real mess. We'll have to check that further tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday will begin to dry out. And let's remind you that we do have a snow contest that is going right now. Let's hear the details of that. We are expecting, we are trying to find out what the total snowfall at the Albany County Airport will be for the month of January 1992. So send in a postcard and put your guess on the postcard as to how much snow we'll get during January. All entries must be in by December 31st, 1991. You could get a snowblower for the first prize, pretty nice one, and also the second prize is a pretty nice snowblower. And again, send your all that data over to News Channel 13, Post Office Box 4035, Albany, New York. And again, we will continue to show those addresses. If you didn't get it tonight, we'll show it again tomorrow.
Okay, great. Thanks, Arnie. Still ahead in sports, Siena opens play tonight in the MAC Conference. Rodger Wyland is next with highlights from LaSalle. We'll also have college hockey results, plus Team USA against Team Canada at the Knickerbocker Arena. Siena playing one of the best teams in their conference tonight.
And Mike Dean called it one of the best wins he's ever had since he's been at Siena. That's saying something after back-to-back wins against Marist and Division II Lemoyne. Hardly anything to brag about. It was back to work for the Siena Saints and their conference opener tonight at LaSalle, the Philadelphia Civic Center. Doremus Bennerman with a steal here on Randy Woods, and he owned this guy all night. Doremus 23 points, including the game-winning three-point shot with about 10 seconds left. Siena by 12 at the half. Siena shot 41% from the field, a perfect 16 of 16 from the line. Mike Dean, a happy guy tonight, and he should be. A three-point win at LaSalle, 68-65. No upsets in college hockey as expected. Clarkson, though, had to fight for this in overtime over RPI at St. Lawrence all over Union 7-3. At the Nick today, Team Canada against Team USA. This one on national TV. And the focus on 18-year-old Canadian star Eric Lindros, who has shunned the NHL Quebec Nordiques. Canada opened up a 3-goal lead in the first. Former RPI great Joey Junot with the wrist shot, stopped by Ray LeBlanc. Gets his own rebound here and will fire it, and it will deflect somehow off a defenseman's skate. Will go to net. 1-0, Joey's first goal in 3 weeks. It was 4-1 Canada in the third when the US of A, and you could hear the chants today, yes sir, gets 2 quick goals from Bill Guerin there, both times beating Sean Burke, but the USA would get as close as 5-4. Canada, the open netter here, made it 5-3, and that was the final. Canada over USA 5-3. Meanwhile, we go to Troy tonight, and the Marine Corps color guard on the ice before the game in honor of this being the 50th anniversary of the day that Pearl Harbor was attacked. CD Islanders home against the Skipjackets of Baltimore. The first goal there by John Purvis tied the score at 1-1 in the first period of the Skipjacks. Never looked back. 6-2 blowout win tonight. Baltimore over the CD Isles. Elsewhere, Adirondack beat Hershey 4-3. Dan Shank with a couple of goals. NHL scores now. Boston 5-3 against Philly. Blackhawks beat the Islanders 5-2. 2-2 tie between Detroit and Jersey. Buffalo and Hartford 6-6 in OT. All right, the NBA now. And the Knicks hit the road for Atlanta. You ready for a little double overtime? Yeah, this is a great game. Here it goes to double overtime. Watch Patrick Ewing slamming over everybody. You're not going to stop that. Ewing with 43 tonight. This may be the biggest shot of the game, though. John Starks for 3. And the Knicks win in double overtime, coming from behind in the fourth quarter, 137-128. And Philly snaps Chicago's 14-game winning streak, 103-100. All right, a month away from his 43rd birthday, Big George Foreman climbed back into the ring tonight in Reno against Jimmy Elias, a 27-year-old club fighter with a 16-0-1 record. They are now into the second round. 'Tis the season for high school basketball tournaments, and several in our area tonight. Colony, Gloversville beat the home team 63-40 in the finals of their own Raider tournament. That was Rich Roberti there with 2 of his 16 points. Gloversville cruises by 23 in that title game. Consolation game, Bethlehem 78-72 against LaSalle. Burn Hills tournament won by Schenectady 69-54. Niskayuna tournament won by the home club 105-67. And Shenandoah girls basketball first round of this tonight. Shen wins big, so does August Martin. Those two will meet tomorrow in the finals at 3. All right, back on college basketball. Division II St. Rose hosting Franklin Pierce tonight, and not a good night for the home team, although number 44, Jeff Gore, 2 of his 21 for St. Rose and Brian Bury's club. But Franklin Pierce with 25 on the inside here from number 52, Jason Migliocco, proved to be too much. 82-80 the final. Franklin Pierce. Here's the rest of it. Albany beat Alfred tonight in local college hoop. Union over Haverford 76-67. And Syracuse nipping St. Joseph's in the Carrier Classic. The John Griffin coach St. Joe 72-70 was that final. Duke over Canisius in Major Division I scores. Ohio State beat Oregon State. North Carolina over Central Florida 101-72. The Hall hung on to beat a game Iona team. And Kentucky in a mild upset 76-74 over Indiana. This one at the Hoosier Dome today. 14th ranked Kentucky led by 21 points from 6'8 sophomore Jamal Mashburn beat 9th ranked Indiana. And this is a steal by Mashburn. Now the Hoosiers down 2 with time running out, and junior Pat Graham will launch a 3-pointer that would have won it. no good here in Kentucky in a mild early season upset with a win over Indiana 76-74. College football was Army against Navy this afternoon. The annual armed services rivalry played on the 50th anniversary of the day that Pearl Harbor was attacked. This was the 92nd meeting between the two and the 10th time it has been played at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. And it was 0-10 Navy that pulled off the big upset. The sophomore Buddy James from 5 yards out, 14-3 at the half. The midshipman over the cadets, 24-3. Ithaca big over Susquehanna today in Division III, and Ithaca heads for the Stag Bowl against Dayton after today's 49-13 win. And to absolutely no one's surprise, Michigan's Desmond Howard won the Maxwell Award as the nation's top collegiate football player with the most lopsided vote in the award's 55-year history. The latest on our NFL poll tonight is that the Jets-Patriots game is now on top by about 100 votes over Houston against Cleveland. If you'd like to vote, call the number corresponding to the game you'd like to see. Remember, this is for the game of Sunday, December 15th. Also tonight in sports, left-hander Frank Viola and outfielder Darrell Boston were offered salary arbitration by the Mets. All that means actually nothing except they can continue to negotiate through January 8th. Carlton Fisk signed a one-year deal with the Chicago White Sox, and A.J. Kitt from Rochester became the first American in 7 years to win a men's World Cup ski race. So we've got a full half hour of sports, and we'll have a little more time tomorrow at 11:25.
All right, thanks, Roger. Just ahead, if you think $1.15 is a lot to pay for a New York City subway ride, wait till you hear what one commuter paid for a whole train. That's next. Going, gone for $3,100. Ellen Hart, Miss Subway of 1959, left a New York Transit Authority auction with a 34-year-old #1 train today. Hart, who will have to make her own arrangements to move the subway car, plans to turn it into a diner. Other items up for bid included a wall-size subway map, a 16-foot brass railing, wooden turnstile paddles, bus fare boxes, and a retired city bus. Proceeds benefit the New York City Transit Museum. That's News Channel 13 this Saturday evening. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Saturday Night Live is next.